Oh, God. Fat activism. I feel like that's almost an oxymoron, right? Fat activists, well, they're not really active, but you know. Anyway.
What started with innocent makeup reviews quickly spiraled into a plus-size clown show, as JaeBae petitioned for wider hallways, stronger elevators, and bigger airplane seats. However, her downfall into delusion seems to have all come to a head in the past couple of months, as JaeBae has found herself thrown into prison.
She going to jail? Oh no!
When I looked into the life of JaeBae closer, I found delusion, begging, hypocrisy, and honestly, so much worse. But it wasn't always like this, and JaeBae actually started out with pretty standard content. Jalen Chaley officially started her YouTube channel named JaeBae in 2019, and it was a far cry from her fat activist content. And she actually started out doing just standard makeup and fashion reviews, but obviously with her plus-size twist.
Hey guys, thank you so much for coming here to my channel. I'm so excited to share the products that I have that I'm going to unbox for you guys today.
As Jalen introduced us.
How is it that, like, I mean, don't you know that it's bad to be on oxygen? Like, I mean, how old are you? Like 25?
To her channel, the first thing that sticks out is her breathing tube.
Yeah.
Which is surprising to see considering she's just 22 years old.
22? "22 years old and you're on oxygen. Oh my God.
She posted the video, and it reminds me a bit of Penny from My 600 Pound Life. It was never seen without her breathing tube, despite actually nothing being wrong with her. JaeBae also expands on what she does for a living, or maybe closer to what she doesn't do.
Just a minute, my dad's calling me. Hello? Hey. He said he thinks this was the person who was sitting in his bed that left the bed all deformed and it was like creased because it was like some 600-pound person sleeping on it. Thinks it was her.
JaeBae also expands on what she does for a living, or maybe closer to what she doesn't do.
I haven't really addressed it, but right now I've been going through some health issues for the past few months.
And those health issues are pretty clearly related to her weight, as she has recently revealed that she weighs over 500 pounds. And
that means that she probably weighs over 600 pounds.
Weight
I feel like at the point where when your forehead starts accumulating weight, you have to acknowledge that you've been doing something wrong. It has nowhere else to go, so it's going to your forehead.
That's become a focal point of her content,
as
she started to realize that her clothing videos weren't getting the views that she wanted, except maybe the lingerie try-ons, which I won't be showing here. JaeBae decided to pivot slightly, and we can see the seeds of this idea when she uploaded her video titled Fat Shaming Story Time at the end of 2019.
Here we go.
She shared her stories of how she's been shamed for her weight in there.
So anyway, I grew up around a lot of body shaming, a lot of fat shaming, drug addicts, guns, gun violence, gangs, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Sure.
And I had lots of family members tell me I wasn't gonna be shit. I wasn't gonna ever graduate high school because neither of my parents graduated high school. My mom had me when she was a teen, so I was told I was gonna be a slut and have 2 kids by the time I was 17 years old. I was gonna live off welfare. I was gonna be just terrible, terrible for my entire life because of the people that I came from. And I heard this stuff.
She told us how she has been put down her entire life and really put her victim mentality on full display, but the roots of her fat activism were starting to grow, as she shared this delusional monologue which feeds into the healthy at every size movement.
I have had people say all kinds of stuff, tell me all kinds of things, and I prove them wrong, and so can you.
Okay, well, what are you talking about?
Size does not determine—
Oh, come on! I thought you meant like graduating high school. Shit!
Health, skinny people saying, judging someone's health by what they look like, you know, how big they are is ridiculous, because what about people who smoke? What about people who do all these different things that are unhealthy, use drugs, drink alcohol every single day? Just because you are skinny does not mean you are healthy.
But just because you're fat does mean you're unhealthy. That's totally true. Skinny people aren't always healthy, but people who are 500 pounds are always unhealthy. Duh. Fucking duh. Yeah, categorically, if you are this size, you're unhealthy. So if you go to the word morbid obesity, let's go ahead. Morbid definition. Characterized by an indication of the nature indicative of disease, unusual interest in disturbing and unpleasant subjects, especially death and disease. Huh. Wow. So that doesn't... What makes a person morbid? Fixated on death and being dead. Okay.
Size is does not determine
Not
health.
so good, huh?
It's dangerous for a person who's over 500 pounds to deflect this much. By saying her size doesn't determine her health because smokers are unhealthy is honestly ridiculous. Especially when she's admitted herself that she has health issues and literally needs a breathing tube so she doesn't suffocate. Eventually though, she started leaning more and more into this...
Well, she is kind of like a smoker because smokers need oxygen too. No, yeah, it's the same thing.
Activism, and although this is where she gets most of her popularity from,
yeah,
it's also the reason she became infamous in the plus-size community. And it
you
all
mean the fat community?
With a single video. Before we get into that though, it's important to realize that JaeBae started to lean into fat activism, not to be just part of the movement, but because those views equaled money to her.
There you go.
She explained herself.
As a plus size content creator, I have a different set of challenges than other creators do.
Yeah.
But I have still made thousands of dollars being a content creator, and I would highly recommend getting into content creating if it's something that you're interested in. Every day I get tons of questions about how I work with brands, how I find different brands, how I've made thousands of dollars as a content creator, and so on.
So as these videos gained views, although it gained her hate, brands actually wanted to work with JaeBae just because of the views. And
well, there's also this weird thing that girls do where they think that it's brave for other girls to be fat. It's how, like, you have, like, a group of, like, 10 girls together, and they all collectively agree that the ugliest and most unhealthy and fattest one among them is the prettiest. And the reason why they do that is because they don't feel threatened by that girl. And it's almost like, it's really kind of weird that they do this, right? Have you ever seen this, like, sabotage? Yeah, exactly. And that's really what it is, the bravest. That's so not true. It absolutely is true. 100% it is. Yeah, make shame normal again? Yeah.
Revenue. However, as we'll see, not all of these viewers were positive.
I wonder why.
Now, with that in mind, JaeBae posted the first of her videos which went mega viral, and that was about plus-size travel.
Plus-size travel tip. The Boeing 787 and Airbus A350 are the most plus-size friendly aircrafts.
This 6-second TikTok got over 1.7 million views alone, and from that point, Jalen saw dollar signs and decided to go all into her travel TikToks and videos.
Oh boy.
Videos about her travel tips gained hundreds and thousands of views, and she shared how different airlines operated and how they treat fat people.
Okay, so Alaska Airlines has a similar policy to Southwest Airlines, but it's a little bit different. Alaska Airlines does require that...
I hate this. I hate these fat euphemisms. Customer of size. Make it fucking stop. Please. End this. Stop it.
You buy
customer of size.
If you do not fit comfortably in one seat.
And the comments on this TikTok weren't exactly positive, but they're about to get a lot worse. As one of Jalen's videos went mega viral, picking up nearly 7 million views.
People tell me every day that I shouldn't be allowed on a plane because of my size. I'm here to remind you your size doesn't have to hold you back.
I mean, how is it like that you're wearing a breathing tube and you've also got this, you're also basically wearing a hospital gown? Like, I mean, at what point do you realize that maybe you're doing something wrong?
Comments were absolutely brutal, claiming that this should be a wake-up call, mocking her weight, and people hoping she paid for the extra seats.
And this is what I totally agree with this. Let's redesign the world for obese people. That's what's so weird about it, is that these people think that they have the right to be 600 pounds and the whole world has to accommodate for it. No, we don't. If you want to be 600 pounds, that's fine, but usually, like, I mean, there's a lot of elements to this, right? Like, usually people that are 600 pounds, they don't really they're not around very long, right? That's number one. Number two is that not everybody else in the world needs to accommodate to you. You're like the 1%. Why does the whole world need to accommodate to someone who's 600 fucking pounds? It's crazy.
Seats. Whether it was these brutal comments or airlines not giving Jalen free seats, JaeBae started to feel as though the world was against her.
I bet.
She even talked about how plus-size people could survive flights, as if getting into a plane was a life-or-death scenario, and shared her next viral video, which gained 17
Your life is that. That's why you're on a breathing tube.
million views.
Things that plus-size travelers hate. When the tray table can't
Jesus Christ.
come down. Worrying about asking for a seatbelt extender. Having little to no room to move. Narrow aisles and bulkhead seats. Tiny airplane bathrooms. Worrying you're going to break the toilet.
It's gotta be a joke. Oh my god. And the thing is, I look at the toilet and I'm like, yeah, probably.
Getting pat down because you're fat. Tiny worrying you're going to break the toilet. Getting pat down because you're fat. Tiny airport chairs with armrests.
Oh
and
no.
The comments were brutal yet again, but they were about to get even more brutal.
Whose fault is that? Bro, exactly. Whose fault is that?
As JaeBae started her first petition off the back of these videos.
So I wanted to make this video to talk about everything related to my plus-size travel petition. I am advocating for policies and measures to make air travel more comfortable and accessible.
Oh my god, so they want to change the whole world to fit around them. This is amazing.
Travelers. My petition is based on personal experiences of discrimination and discomfort while traveling by myself and with my partner, who's also plus
You
size.
should be discriminated against. You're massively overweight. It's a hazard to everybody around you. You destabilize the plane. Like, it's not even a question.
We have faced hateful comments, disapproving looks, and even refusal to sit next to us because of our size. The mystery.
Well, yeah. Why would somebody want to sit next to somebody that's 500 pounds? Like, there's two reasons. Number one, it's because they're probably going to be pressed up against you. And number two, you probably smell bad. Like, I mean, let's be honest.
Of plus-size travelers is absolutely unacceptable, and urgent action is needed to protect the dignity and rights of all passengers, regardless of their size.
You're right to have people sit next to you at the airplane. So you're right to make sure that Delta Airlines makes a chair for you that's, you know, for 3 people.
Jalen launched her petition, which at the time of recording has around 40,000 signatures, which laid bare her unrealistic demands. The first of these demands, which honestly isn't too bad, is just for flights to have a customer of size policy for tall people, disabled people, and of course, morbidly obese people. However, the next...
No, one is not like the others. If you're morbidly obese, it's probably because you can't stop eating food or you have some sort of problem that you've created yourself. Being very tall or very short or, you know, your legs not working, this is something that happens to you. Being fat is a choice. That's the difference.
Item on the list is where it gets really strange and controversial, as she demands that airlines must give morbidly obese people a free seat, or even multiple free seats, so that they don't spill over into the next chair. Many
It's crazy how I've said this before. This might be a controversial take, but I do think that fat people on average, especially ones that are like 500 pounds, are more selfish than an average person. I think that if you took 10,000 500-pound people and you took 10,000 normal size people and you looked at the selfish tendencies between them, I think that you would see multiple standard deviations of difference. I can't see how this isn't obvious.
People have said that this is frustrating, as why should an obese person get an entire row to themselves just for free? Surprisingly, some airlines do actually have a similar customer-sized policy, and it's led to some extremely shocking news stories. In 2023, a woman booked up and paid upfront for her flight from Montego Bay to Baltimore, where she was traveling with 2 teenagers. However, an obese person needed an extra seat, of course, for free. This led to the woman and the 2 teenagers being kicked off.
We need to stop catering to hogs like this. Selfish, entitled hogs that are trying to fuck up society and make everybody change and conform around them. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That we, like, how is it that anybody is even taking this seriously for a second? It's crazy.
Off the flight in order to make room for this obese woman who had not paid for the extra seat and had not told staff that she needed an extra seat beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where the fat activism starts to break down, as you get situations like this in order to prioritize the obese flyers. 3 people, 2 of which are teenagers, who had fully paid, had to be kicked off the flight in order to accommodate 1 person. I don't think—
Why wouldn't you just tell the 1 person that you don't have, like, number one, that's so stupid. Like, it really, I mean, it's not even logical. Like, you're going to tell 3 people they can't get on a flight because 1 person? What, are they afraid of fat people going and trying to make Southwest Airlines look like it's bad? This is crazy. Why choose 3 instead? Why choose 1 instead of 3? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's controversial at all to say the obese person should have been the one to get kicked off the flight and wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Especially as they didn't book 2 tickets. And JaeBae support—
Well, it's not even that they didn't book 2 tickets. It's that they didn't tell them ahead of time that they would need extra space. I'm fairly certain if you're really fat, there's probably some sort of like thing that you need to like mark that says like, hey, by the way, I'm massively overweight and I need 2 spaces.
What's this exact policy? Even bringing up Southwest Airlines, who are the culprits in this case, customer-sized policy.
Southwest Airlines sets an incredible example by prioritizing passenger well-being by offering a free second seat or reimbursement for the purchase of an additional seat for comfort and safety of those needing extra space. These policies enhance safety and reduces discomfort and health risks associated with cramped plane seating. Southwest Airlines—
Now they care about health risks.
Customer size policy should serve as a model for other airlines, encouraging them to accommodate plus-size passengers and eliminate discrimination.
Jalen didn't just stop at airlines and their policies, and her downfall into delusion was just beginning, as she began to suggest that hotels were being fat.
Of course. Of course. Wow, what a surprise. It never ends where you think it does.
Phobic, and I really wish I was joking.
These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide—
It's not travelers of all sizes. It's travelers of your size. 99% of people don't have these problems. This entire idea that like we're being inclusive, no, you're not being inclusive by going out of your way to over-design things to make sure that the 1% of people who have eaten themselves into morbid obesity in an early grave somehow are slightly more accommodated whenever they're sitting in a plane or in a hotel. It's insane that we, like, how does, what's happened? Oh my God.
Wider chairs without armrests in guest rooms, lobbies, and common areas to accommodate different body sizes and types. Number 2 on the list.
Go sit on the sofa.
Ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity.
No way. You're talking about the fucking bed. What happened? What did you do to the bed?
Along with providing reinforced chairs and wider backing facilities.
Reinforced chairs? So now the entire hotel has to have titanium chairs or tungsten chairs because you want to sit on a chair. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, really, it's so outrageous. No, 40%. No. 40% of the U.S. is overweight, sure. But, like, there is, like, there's a spectrum for this, okay?
Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. Number 4.
No, hold up. Like, if you're wider than a wheelchair...
install grab bars in showers and near toilets.
Grab bars?
Offer adjustable handheld shower heads and raised toilet seats for added accessibility. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes.
Her list of demands gets crazier and crazier, and her saying that hallways and elevators need to be wider.
Hallways need to be wider. Oh my god.
It's absolutely insane. I've never walked through a hotel hallway and felt like I needed more room, so I'm not sure how...
Why do you think that is? Oh, geez. Guys, I really wonder, what's the difference here?
Why do you have to be to feel that way? Commenters
so
on YouTube
infuriating.
had
I
different
hate
points
these people.
Too, such as how her
I
raising
hate
the
them.
height of toilet seats would be absolutely disastrous for people who have real disabilities. As a wheelchair user, raising toilet seats is one of the most inaccessible things they could do.
Well, no, you don't understand, because you're just in a wheelchair. You have to understand that, you know, you're not fat, okay? And obviously, and by the way, have you ever noticed that 99% of all fat activism is from fat women? It is. It is. Most of all the idea of fat phobia, fat activism, fat acceptance, this is all just a massive psyop to make men feel guilty for not being attracted to them. That's the reason. I'm going to say it. And I know it's sexist, and that's because it is. But it's true. It's true, and everybody knows it.
Though that Jalen has now gotten herself so large that she does need a wheelchair too, and even uses a mobility scooter, which of course was gifted to her by a brand.
Oh,
now,
bro, like, Jesus. Holy fuck, man.
by a brand. Now it's safe to say public perception towards JaeBae has been turning negative for quite some time, as her victim mentality, defensive crazy policies, and unrealistic demands became more and more unhinged. However, what came next was about to make her previous antics look tame. In May of 2024, Jalen took a break from her usual bragging of her paid-for holidays and took a more serious tone, as she uploaded a video of some apparently disgusting discrimination she had faced in...
As I approached her, and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size. The thing is that, like, my dad had this happen at the airport. The wheelchair help at the airport is absolutely fucking S tier. It is insanely high quality, and it's meant for people that have actual real disabilities, not fat people who can't stop eating food that need the world to accommodate for them. There is a limited amount of those wheelchairs and those people that are there to help elderly and disabled people get around and be able to live their lives. The fact that you have these people hogging up all the wheelchairs, it's not fair. It's not fair, it's completely selfish, and it's ridiculous.
SeaTac Airport. Basically, JaeBae requested to be pushed in...
My ordeal at SeaTac will shock you. The experience I'm about to share with you is yet another example of why employee sensitivity training, a demand outlined in the plus-size travel petition, is desperately needed. And I'm going to be honest, guys. I can see what she means.
A wheelchair, but after seeing the sheer size of Jalen, Apparently, the employee refused and walked away. And in February of 2025, Jalen talked about it.
And the funny thing about that is that maybe the employee has another physical defect where she's not able to push a person of that size. And this is what I find to be very funny about this, is that it's this entire idea of like acceptance, but the acceptance is completely one-dimensional. Maybe this woman has some sort of injury and it would be too much for her to push around a 500-pound woman versus pushing around a, 100 to 200-pound person who is disabled, right? Or even 300 pounds. Like that's like adding an extra entire person, maybe a person and a half, if you're adding in 200 pounds on top of somebody who's 300 pounds. Like being 500 pounds is fucking massive. It's gigantic. That's 1/4 of a ton. It's insane. And so, like, yeah, I can't lift a fridge by myself. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, and that's the issue that I think these people have. And this is the reason why everybody hates them, including themselves. That's why they're literally killing themselves, is that this entire idea of like body acceptance and like, needing to be like, this is the kind of person that's going to be making comments about like a girl, like that girl in Stellar Blade, like, where's her organs? Like, these are, there's not, you don't actually care about accessibility. You care about people allowing you to be indulgent in what you think that you want to do. That's it. Lifting over 50 pounds is workplace hazards. Yeah, hazard, exactly.
Again, with a plan for action.
Familiar with my experience at CTAC where they refused to push me in a wheelchair. You saw that video, and they refused to push me because I was too fat. And they had absolutely no consideration for my physical health, my well-being, my needs, none of the above. Well, I thought maybe I was the only person that happened to experience that, and it was just something that was really uncommon.
And then let me guess, there's a lot of fat people who have had this same problem and have caused this same issue at airports.
And then I talked to someone incredible in our community, and they're a much smaller fat person than I am, and they experienced the same.
A much smaller fat person than I.
Damn thing.
Jalen talked about how they had no consideration for her size, but commenters on the TikTok were quick to point
Well, the entire thing is about a consideration on your size.
out the hypocrisy, as Jalen had no consideration for the employee's well-being, even stating
exactly.
that
They can't legally push. Yeah, see, this is it. A physical health or well-being. It's not physically possible for most people to push a large amount of weight. And also, it was a she. It's a woman, right? I mean, this isn't some big, strong dude or like some guy that's in shape. It's just this. Probably it could be like a 110-pound girl. Like, is she going to be able to push a 400-pound woman around? Sorry, 500-pound woman around? And that's also not even including her bags, too.
that they legally may not have been allowed to push over 400 pounds, but Jalen did not relent and continued on her rant.
Ever had a bad experience with CTAC? We would love for you to come out and be part of the protest.
Oh my God, please please. If this video doesn't end in a protest of a bunch of fat people sitting outside an airport, I'm going to be so upset. Please, please, please.
Let's show them that they cannot treat people like this. They cannot treat anyone like this, and they cannot treat fat people like this. This is unacceptable.
Is she playing Not Like Us?
Acceptable, and it's discrimination, and it will not be tolerated any longer. So if you want to be a part of this protest, DM me tonight, DM me tomorrow, but let's go ahead and make it happen. We will be at SeaTac Airport Tuesday, February 4th. If you want to protest at SeaTac in solidarity with me, come on by. If you see me at SeaTac, please come up and say hello.
So Jalen had spoke to countless people who had had the same experience of discrimination and who were also outraged for the situation they'd been put in.
No, SeaTac, not SeaWorld. This is an airport.
Planned a huge protest in retaliation.
I deserve dignity at every weight. No, you don't. You're fat. It's disgusting. It's just the way it is. It's the same as smoking. Smoking's disgusting. Being an alcoholic's disgusting. The world needs to stop accommodating selfish, disgusting people. Stop it. Don't give any ground to these people. My body is not your business. Yes, it is. Obese people are human beings too. They're multiple human beings in some cases. Obese women matter.
people in the plus size community to come down and make their voices heard. Jalen uploaded this call to action and gained 140,000 views with support from the comments and her community. So February 4th rolled in, and so did Jalen to SeaTac Airport.
Rolled in, huh?
And she kickstarted her
I got what I wanted.
protest. However, she was the only attendee, holding up a lonely sign all alone in a pretty deserted airport. People in her comments weren't exactly supportive either. Why should someone risk physical—
No. The first comment was way better. Wheelchairs are for disabled people, not able-bodied people eating themselves into the grave. No, that's the based one, okay?
Why should someone risk physical injury to push you?
Exactly.
So you're really expecting the average person to be able to push your entire body weight when you can't even walk or get yourself around due to your body weight?
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it?
Things were heating up for Jalen. The entire internet was having a bit of a pile-on, and her videos were more popular than ever. But, like we've seen, it wasn't exactly positive attention. Yeah. Now, I don't agree with flat-out bullying, but I think it's important to point out the flaws in Jalen's argument.
I don't agree with bullying, but I do agree with being firm, decisive, and definitive that being fat like that is extremely unhealthy. It's bad for you. Nobody should be like that. It's probably your fault, and it's not something that should be accommodated by the public. Nobody should think that it's okay to be. Obviously, if you want to be 600 pounds, that's fine, but the world doesn't need to conform around your behavior. You want to eat and be 600 pounds, go ahead. But don't expect anybody else to, rationalize this or tell you that you're doing a good job. That's the issue. Fat shaming should be allowed? Well, it is. Fat shaming is, like, there's a lot of elements of fat shame. Like, fat people feel enough shame on their own. Trust me, they hate themselves. That's why their entire life is built around their size. They absolutely hate themselves. Like that's really it. Yeah, there's nobody that hates fat people more than fat people. And so bullying and honesty is not bullying. Well, bullying is not, like, I don't agree with just like making fun of somebody and like, haha, you're so stupid and fat and everything. Like, that's not really what I'm trying to do. Like, I'll make a joke like that every once in a while, but in a general sense, it's not really something that I agree with. It's just it's mean-spirited. But fundamentally, these people are selfish, gluttonous, and also totally self-serving. They don't care about anybody else except for themselves. They don't care about how they inconvenience other people. They don't care about their impact on society. They don't care about anything other than eating more food and then doing what they want to do. And that's fine. You want to do that, that's okay. But the moment that you enlist the activism and the help of another person, now you need to come up with a justification. We accommodate them, otherwise it's murder? I guess so.
And question why we should accommodate obesity more than the disabilities, and why should obese people have priority over average sized passengers, like we saw with the Southwest Airlines story.
They should have a lower priority.
I'm sure the pressure of the internet was taking a toll on Jalen's mental health, as no matter how mentally strong and confident someone can say
Why
they are.
did you get the nose ring? You didn't have to do that. Nobody wanted you to do that. Why would you get that nose ring?
Everyone has a limit. Put that alongside her failing physical—
Oh, wow. What a surprise. You want to know why you don't see any really old fat people? It's because they're dead. Think about all the famous fat people that are really old. There's one. His name's Santa Claus, and he's not real.
health due to her size, the cracks would inevitably begin to show. Now, if you are someone who wants to make a change to your physical health, I'd highly recommend signing up to the Fat Loss Kitchen, where every Friday I'll send you high protein, low calorie meal ideas, all for completely free. Each recipe is specifically made for busy people
send that to Jalen.
are trying to lose weight in a healthy way and are sick of eating the same boring meals, and judging by the reviews we've had so far, it's safe to say people are absolutely loving it. The link is in the description to sign up, and make sure you sign up quick so you don't miss the huge announcement that'll be coming out soon.
Right.
So make sure you sign up so you don't miss out. Now, back to Jalen.
That was a great ad. Super short, really to the point. I like that. I appreciate that. This is a good video. We're going to link this video. Give this guy a sub. I like him.
Showed sooner rather than later, and on the 23rd of February.
By the way, so speaking of being fat, if you don't want to be fat, there's an ad here, and you can eat this food and you won't be fat. Anyway, so back to the being fat.
2025, she posted this video to her Instagram, showing her crying in the car, videoing her feet, and what seems to be her throwing up into a bag. The caption was even stranger too, and she's actually edited it so we can't see what was there in the first place, but it now reads as follows. I am now safe. My perpetrator is going to be served. I have a chat with the police department number. I am safe, and his family and what they have done to me will be exposed. And I'm not threatening anyone, but that's what God has told me to do. Now, it's not clear what was actually wrong with Jalen, except in her bio she states it was abuse and sepsis, but what she did share was a GoFundMe, for people to help her with her journey to healing and safety, as she put it. I don't know why the first thing she does is make a GoFundMe, especially after
Why would a gluttonous person ask for money? Oh man, I wonder. What could it be?
all over Instagram and TikTok about how she gets free holidays and makes thousands of dollars as an influencer. To me, this is a completely ridiculous thing to do, and people agreed. One person commented that her post was dramatic, and JaeBae actually threatened them with legal action if they didn't remove that comment.
This has been recorded and will be addressed as need be. You have a chance to remove it. Choose wisely, Gina.
But it gets even worse. JaeBae DM'd another person and continued to insult them, laughing at their
See, look, bro. I knew it. See, every single time. Yes, bro, get those eyebrows under control. There it is. Yep, I told you. Total, yeah, see, these people, they always want to talk about accepting size, accepting body types. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't give a fuck about that. All you care about is people pushing your fucking fat ass around at the airport while you eat as much food as you want. And then you can go easily over to some skinny girl and talk about how she's anorexic, her eyebrows are fucked up, and where's her organs. That's it. These people, you never, ever, ever, for even a second believe that anything they're saying is something that actually is legit. It's not legit. It's never been legit. It's all self-serving.
Physical appearance and even threatened to get them fired from their job, all because they liked a comment calling her dramatic. Now, it's completely ironic that JaeBae, someone who's advocated for the rights of fat people, completely broke down at someone, and the first thing she did was laugh at their physical appearance.
Of course they did, because it's all about accepting her behavior while maintaining the privileges of other people. That's all it is. It's a selfish, gluttonous movement that, well, I wouldn't say it's a movement. I would say it's a selfish, gluttonous cause.
My opinion just shows her true colors as an absolute grifter. She doesn't care about the greater good.
Like Asmongold says, all the problems in the world are caused by two types of people, Karens and incels. I've said it. Isn't it crazy that I just keep being right?
On making the world a better place, she only cares if she can make money from it.
That's right.
And if someone tries to stop her from making money, she actually attacks them. Unfortunately for JaeBae, the real trouble was still yet to come, and she would soon face the consequences for her actions. On the 3rd of March 2025, someone on Reddit posted some breaking news. We were tipped off to JaeBae being arrested. Charges
Arrested? What did she do?
include a Class C felony.
What?
Her charge sheet wasn't looking good. 1 count of misuse of 911 system, 1 count of resisting arrest and obstructing.
Assault? Wait, bro. She got the 6X? So she So she called 911 for some bullshit, and then she was causing problems with the healthcare facility. Then probably the police got called, and then she was resisting arrest, and then she was obstructing law enforcement after resisting arrest. Then she probably went somewhere else, and then she probably hit a police up. And this is at 4:20 in the morning. Oh my God.
Law enforcement, and finally, 1 count of assault and criminal trespass.
Jesus.
Honestly, I'm impressed that her nearly 600-pound body could carry all of these out, and I can't wait for the
It's actually true. She was wilding out. Maybe she is healthy at any size.
body cam footage to be released. Now, I'm no expert, but I think the assault charge being felony class C is quite a big deal, and ChatGPT told me that it could lead to a prison time of 3 to 10 years and fines of up to $10,000, which JaeBae will surely beg for money to pay.
It says not to take it lightly.
For. At the time of recording this video, JaeBae hasn't posted any updates since this incident, but has kept the Venmo and Cash App links.
Honestly, her going to prison could be the best thing that could happen to her. Because if she doesn't go to prison, she's gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. See, fat people that are this big, they die. And in prison, they're not gonna give her that much food. And she'll lose a lot of weight. So she should be happy that she's going to prison. W for remember what I said about that 2%? We might have to make it all the way up to 3. Not true? I think it is.
Profile, but we can only assume she's still in prison and cannot afford the bail. JaeBae is the prime example of a fat activism grifter. As soon as she realized she can make money from travel videos, posting rage bait online, and get rewarded while doing so, she lent into it even more, causing her worldview to get more and more twisted and delusional. She kept her victim mindset throughout, causing her to pay the ultimate price and lose all respect of the internet. Now, if you want to see more influencers who are part of the body positivity movement and met a very predictable end, click the video that's on your screen.
Very predictable, and yep, this is where we'll watch this one maybe tomorrow.
Now, and make sure you sign up to the Fat Loss Kitchen and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The reason why I go so hard against these people is because they push a lie that hurts other people. So, like, for example, the way that I live, I say multiple times that other people treat their body like a temple. I treat my body like a zoo. I don't think people should live the way that I live. I don't think that the way that I do things is necessarily healthy. And I would say that there's a lot of things that I eat and drink and things like that that are obviously bad. And yeah, we'll watch the fucking, listen, yeah, I understand, we will get to it, okay? But just give me a fucking minute, all right? Anyway, it's a dude. Yeah, I know, it's the 1%, right? But you don't eat 7 meals a day. Yes, this is a great video, by the way. Big Craig, that's his name. I'm gonna link you guys his YouTube channel. Give him a like, give him a sub. I like that a lot. And it's today, tomorrow. Yeah, today is always tomorrow, and yesterday is always today. And W video, yeah, give the guy a sub. That was a really good video, man. And I think, again, the problem with this, and this is the reason why I go hard on it, is because they create this narrative that misleads young women into thinking that it's normal, acceptable, and okay in order to do this. And I think that's really the problem. It's the fact that these people, it's not enough for them to be fat. They want other people to be fat, and they want to justify being fat and change medical definitions and mislead people into believing a lie in order to justify their own lifestyle. That's the reason why it's bad. If you just want to, listen, if you want to do crack, if you want to do fentanyl in your house and just sit there and then eventually overdose and die, go ahead. Go ahead. That's natural selection. That's fine. If you want to be 700 pounds and die at 30, go ahead. Have fun. Have fun. I hope you enjoy it. But the reality is that when you want other people to think that you being 700 pounds is okay, you try to shift the narrative around that. You tell people that they can be healthy at any size. That's the problem. And then also, then you complain about everything. Oh, wow, I can't fit in this door. Well, yeah, that's because this door is designed for a person. That's the reason why. You're wrong, fat people have a disease. Well, then they should stop eating as much food. And I think the disease would probably, lessen the effects of the disease. I think the amount of people that are fat due to the nature of their genetics and that eat a reasonable amount of food and that also exercise, I think that you are literally talking about 1%. I think 99% of people are fat because they eat a lot of food and they don't exercise. That's what it is. Thyroid sickness. I knew a girl that had a thyroid problem and she was an OnlyFans model. I don't want to hear that. She had to take medication for it. I don't want to hear that at all. No. There are ways that you get around that. Absolutely. You take medication. There's ways that you do that. Yeah, so get thyroid medication. Yeah, exactly. It can make you skinny. Well, no, like hers made you gain weight, right? But she was at Link. No. And so anyway, there's medicine for that. I forgot what it was. That's not true because anecdotal reference. Yeah, that's the reason why. Is that, again, I am on a crusade against this. I have always hated this. This embodies everything that I hate. It is selfish, it's self-serving, it's delusional, it's disgusting, and it's self-righteous. Everything about this, I fucking hate it. That's the way I feel. And somebody got to say it. And I know that some people are going to say, oh, but you're being mean. Somebody's got to do it.